Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Puzzles and More here. And just like I promised in my last video, here is my spoiler review on Superman. And just before the video starts, major spoilers for Superman. And before I get to the actual review, before we get to the review, I also have two other things to show at the end, but I'm gonna save those for after the review. So this is a review video on Superman plus two other things I need to show you. Anyways, let's get to the first part, which is my review on James Gunn's Superman. And the movie, oh my god, it was one of, if not, it was amazing. I can't put this into context, but it was amazing, man. A great start to the DCU, because the last project, Joker Faleo Doo-Doo, failed. But I think I like this movie 100 times better than Joker. Like, Joker could just go fall in a garbage. Anyways, I'm gonna move my screen down. Yeah, Superman, I cannot believe this enough. It was, if not the best Superman adaptations I've ever seen. I've seen Man of Steel, and now I've seen this movie. Like, oh my god, where do I even begin? Let's talk about the characters, shall we? And I'm putting the poster right here, side by side. Let's start off with my favorite characters in the movie. I think I'm gonna have to go with my absolute favorite characters. David Cornsway. I cannot stress enough, David Cornsway is a great Superman. Every single piece of dialogue as Superman is just top tier, man. Like, David is pretty much, he was our fan cast for years. I mean, this man was ready for the role, and he was just perfect as Superman. Like, he does the Clark Kent dynamic in the scenes, in the Daily Planet scenes when he's Clark Kent is just, man. And that whole 12-minute scene, or I think 10 or 12-minute scene where Clark and Lois are explaining, and I'll get to Lois later on, but Superman and Lois are explaining, like, the 10-minute scene, oh my god. I thought the 10-minute scene was gonna be boring, but it just ramped up from when Lewis was talking about the president and everything else, and then, like, the David Cornsway Superman and Clark dynamic was good, especially that scene where, Lewis explains the interview, and he's like, I wasn't even prepared to die anybody, or something like that, and then he just ends his sentence after a bit of something, and, he says, like, that last line, people are going to die. That is Superman, right? That is Clark Kent right there. But when he's Superman, it's just the best thing ever. Like, every single, it's for a few scenes here and there, but, like, there are a few kind of action flying-y sequences I didn't like, but everything else was great. Like, his dynamics with Lex Luthor, the diva himself. I'll get to Lex in a moment, but David is just, he's just perfect in the role, man. David Cornsway is a great Superman. And the dialogue during the ending fight where he fights Ultraman is just, frick, man. It just gets me. And let's not forget the emotional scene where, it was almost, like, it almost made me cry it almost made me cry when I watched it. It was Clark explaining to his dad, I think it was, like, in the Clark Kent house or whatever. It was just freaking emotional, man. And yep, and I'm gonna move on to the other characters, starting with Lex Luthor. I mean, the other characters are good, but I'm gonna have to talk about David and Lex first. Lex Luthor, what do I say? I think this is the best adaptation of Lex Luthor I've ever seen. Like, every time he's on screen, I just get this feeling that this man is a diva himself. the Lex is an aura farmer. Like literally, David and Lex are aura farming in this movie. Like every single time we see them, like in their super, like in there, it's just good, man. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor is probably, if not one of my favorite comic book villains I've ever seen. Like better than the every other version of Lex. Sorry. But anyways, Lex Luthor, man, what do I say? Like, his line delivery is from Superman, he's not a man, he's an it, to that ending where, you know, Lex freaks out over, like, Superman being alive. Like, him controlling Ultraman during the beginning of the fight where he says, like, B1 or B2 or B16, punch him in the face. Like, it's just amazing, man. I'm gonna get to the other villains later, but, like, damn, man, Lex Luthor. It was just, God, what do I even say about Lex, man? I don't know. I'm probably gonna talk about him all day, but I don't want to get sidetracked. But anyways, now moving on. Those were the two big ones. Now, the third white whale of the night was Rachel Bronsway as Lois Lane. A great Lois Lane, by the way. I mean, I still think the Superman, which one? Superman Lois was better, but Rachel is still a good Lois, man. I don't even know, like, her, every time she's on screen, I just get this feeling that I'm watching an episode of Superman and Lois, but this is just, James, like, does these characters really well, especially Lois. Like, I can't even believe it. The scene where, and I like the Lois's dynamics with another character I'll be talking about in a moment, but, in a few moments, but Lois, like, when she's on Mr. Terrific's ship, I just get this feeling that she's gonna drive, like, she drives the thing, man. I just love it. And before we get to the other characters, another character I did like was Krypto the Superdog. I always thought Krypto was kind of like a joke, but this movie just proves that Krypto could work. Like, James Gunn, you know, has his, like, animal like instincts when Rocket Raccoon was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Rocket went from an F tier to an S tier character in the first movie. Like, and the same thing applies with Krypto. You could just do Krypto right. If you hire James Gunn, any animal he does, like Rocket Raccoon or even the Suicide Squad, it's done right. Same thing can be said for Krypto, and I like Krypto. His, like, whenever Superman, you know, whenever Clark whistles, then Krypto comes along. And especially during that final fight scene with Ultraman, like, Superman, like, whistles, like, and then Krypto is at a pet store, like, oh my god, that's just funny. And like when Krypto beats up Lex Luthor in the final, like, in the final minutes, I'm just like, whoa, get him, Krypto, get him in the ass, or something like that. But anyways, I think that's all the main characters. Now, the side characters. Oh boy, there's a bunch. I'm gonna have to speed up this one, don't I? Anyways, starting off with the Justice Gang, Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern. I mean, you could tell Nathan, I mean, he was probably, if not one of my weaker parts of the movie. He still had some good moments. Like, Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern was bad, but I think this is a better Green Lantern. And, I mean, we know we're getting a Lantern series coming, I think, either this or next year, but I hope to see Nathan Fillion in the Lantern series. I really want him to be Justice, unlike Ryan Reynolds. But anyways, but Nathan Fillion is probably, if not the better Green Lantern than Ryan Reynolds. I like his jokes, and I cannot wait to see him in Peacemaker Season 2. Now, for Hawkgirl, she was only barely in the movie. I mean, she had a few scenes here and there, but I do like this version of Hawkgirl. The comic-accurate look of Hawkgirl is just, my goodness, man, it's so good. You could tell, like, they were doing Hawkgirl justice, I mean, and especially the scene where she kills the Russian president thing. I forgot his name, but I'll cover him later on. But anyways, I think the real member of the Justice Gang is Ed Gathicik. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but he's Mr. Terrific. But Mr. Terrific was the real standout, man. James does these Justice Gang characters really well, especially Mr. Terrific. He was my, like, time to shine. Like, you know, the whole, like, fight scene where Mr. Terrific, fights all of the Lex goons, and the music playing while Lewis and Mr. Terrific are like, Lewis is in the bubble while Mr. Terrific is fighting Lex guys. It's just peak notch. He had some funny moments in there, and especially when in the final fight where it says, "Hey, it's a Superman," and I don't want to play the whole scene because anyways. But now, and a new member of the Justice Gang, spoiler alert, Metamorpho. Oh, Anthony Carping as Metamorpho is, oh my god, I just can't, I like his looks, man. He kind of looks like Drax a little bit, kind of, or a mix of Drax and a Skrull, but Metamorpho, man, he just had some good character in the movie. Him and Baby Joey, I mean, Baby Joey is Metamorpho's son in the comics, by the way, but him and Baby Joey are just great. I mean, Metamorpho is just morphing. Yeah, when he like, his hands, create the sun and Superman wakes up, it's just pretty good. And every time he's on screen, I just get this feeling that he has some emotional character, kind of. Baby Joey included. And the whole scene where Superman saves Baby Joey in the pocket dimension is kind of cool. I love it. Love the really good aesthetics of that scene. And that was Metamorpho and Baby Joey. Now moving on to the other characters. First off, Sarah Samplo as Eve Tessmacher. I just love her in this role. I mean, she had some good moments. Like, Lex's assistant is kind of, it's pretty good. Like, I would have liked saying Eve Tessmacher. It's kind of just, I would have loved if they did the Tessmacher line in the movie, but I'm fine with what I get. I mean, it's just kind of good seeing Tessmacher on the screen. I love it. And the other characters for the Daily Planet are good. Like, as Wendell Pierce as Perry White is just good. And I think there are other Daily Planet members. The Daily Planet. And before we talk about the members of the Daily Planet, I just love this Daily Planet, shot. Every single time the Daily Planet is on screen, I just get this awe feeling, especially when Superman and Lois are, doing the talking, and you see the Justice Gang in the background. And then we get to the other members. Jimmy Olsen, Skylar Gisondo is great as Jimmy Olsen, and he's good as well. Beck Bennett also does a great job as Steve Lombard. McCall Hoover as Cat Grant is good, and Terrence Romberg as Aldous Berg is just so good. All these Daily Planet cast members are good. And now moving on to the final casts. The final are the villains. Other than Lex Luthor, you got Maria Gabriela De Farah as the engineer. I think she was pretty good. Like the whole Crypto fighting her, and when she fired her kryptonite, the thing at Crypto, I was like, no, my god, wow. And her in the final fight with Superman is just, holy crap! I like that power, man. She's a great villain, but yeah. Anyways, and now the final character in this movie, Ultraman. Now, before I say the Ultraman stuff, major spoiler alert, if you don't want to know who Ultraman is behind the mask, click off this video now and see Superman, okay? Major spoilers up ahead, okay? You have been warned. So, it is revealed, well, before we get to the actual reveal, the Hammer of Bravia is a suit worn by Ultraman. That's pretty convenient enough. But, spoiler alert, Ultraman, and I knew this was coming. I knew I had to say his name somewhere. I knew this was coming. Behind the mask of Ultraman is David Cornsway himself. I knew it was coming. I mean, I knew that leaks early on. I mean, I knew it was going to be David Cornsway because I was thinking, how the hell would they get Henry Cavill in that suit? I mean, he's already played a Wolverine variant in Deadpool and Wolverine. But I was fine with it being David, and I knew that was coming straight away when I saw the trailers. I was like, Is this David Cornsway? I mean, it would make sense. And then, boom, David Cornsway in the suit. I just and every time he was on screen, I can't just imagine like it being David. I was like, oh my god, this is David Cornsway in the suit, and I was right. I was fucking right. David Cornsway in the suit. He's not just playing Superman. He's just playing both the Hammer of Baravia in the beginning and Ultraman, which is a variant of the Hammer of Baravia. But it's like in the final fight with Ultraman and Superman, it's just the best thing ever. Superman and Krypto hitting one punch combos, and and even Krypto and Superman getting on one guy and then punching his teeth on the screen is just, oh my god. And Superman activating Ultra Vision was good as well, but Ultraman, Ultraman, spoiler alert, dies after Superman and Krypto punched him. Ultraman dies in the black hole vortex, the paradox dimension or something like that. I forgot what it was called. But anyways, it was just Ultraman. I don't know if Ultraman's dead or not, but I hope he returns someday in a more comic accurate suit, hopefully. But anyways, now we're gonna get to the cameos, and every single one of these cameos were good. I'm gonna start with the ones I expected. First off, Rick Flag Sr. Well, Rick Flag Sr. Rick Flag Sr. was kind of a good cameo. He was not a cameo, but still, Rick Flag Sr. If you don't know who Rick Flag Sr. is, he is in the animated Creature Commando series, and he's in Creature Commando. So if you have not seen the series, see it now before seeing this movie. But anyways, Rick Flag Sr. was probably, if not a major part of this movie, kind of. Yeah, Rick Flag Sr. was pretty amazing. And the other cameos, starting from best to worst. Next up, we have Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord, who we will be seeing this August in Peacemaker Season 2. Sean Gunn, I knew the cameo was coming, I just didn't know when it was going to be. Because I knew this film was going to tie directly into Peacemaker Season 2. Maxwell Lord and the Justice Gang do appear in the trailer for Peacemaker Season 2. I was like, before I saw the movie, I was like, if the Justice Gang are in there, why not Maxwell Lord? Because we see the Lord Tech building in some shots of the movie. And Maxwell Lord, I just had a feeling Maxwell Lord would appear in, but it would be during the cameo scene. And now, the two biggest cameos, I'm going to do this one first. Millie Alcock as Supergirl. It was rumored for a while she was going to appear in the movie, and then the discussing film, like a few months before the movie, it was leaked that Millie Alcock would be a Supergirl in the movie, and I had a feeling it was gonna happen, but I just didn't know when. It happened at the very end of the movie, where Superman defeated Lex, and then Superman is back at the Fortress of Solitude, and then you have Millie Alcock appear as Supergirl. It was still a really good cameo, man. Her acting drunk, because Supergirl in the comics is kind of drunk in the comics, and Krypto is Supergirl's owner, by the way. Major spoiler alert. It's not Superman's owner, it's Supergirl's. And that cameo was amazing. But I think the best cameo in the movie, it's not Supergirl. It's a certain someone that is getting a second season. And that guy is John Cena as Peacemaker. Yup, Peacemaker makes pretty much his first movie debut. Well, he did have a movie. He did have the Suicide Squad movie, but that wasn't in theaters. It was on HBO Max. But by the way, Peacemaker is getting a second season, and I was like, if they would get Peacemaker in a movie, I would scream. But Peacemaker, man, he was in one of the news segments, and Peacemaker saying that Superman, he does have beef with Superman, and we know from Peacemaker Season 2 trailer, we know Peacemaker is going to the DCU and not the DCEU, because Season 1 takes place in the DCEU and Season 2 takes place in the DCU. And we know Peacemaker is going to meet a variant of himself, and he's going to shoot that variant, Deadpool style. But anyways, enough with that. Peacemaker was a great cameo. I cannot believe they got Peacemaker in this shit. His first debut in a movie. Well, except for Suicide Squad, of course, but it's in the theater. But anyways, now we were gonna get to the overall the shots I love the most about this film are every time Superman flies on screen, besides some parts, and like the whole movie is just. It's just a rehashed version of Christopher Reeve's Superman movie from the 70s. And the music track in this movie, James Gunn literally cooked with this movie. And especially the like during the beginning of the final fight, every time I hear the version of that Superman score, I just go, wow, this is probably, if not one of my favorite movies of all time. Well, favorite Superman movies of all time. Not my favorite movie of all time, but you'll see. Anyways. And the music choices, like, in this movie, especially the music during the Mr. Terrific fight, was good. But the music during the credits, man, Punk Rocker, oh my god, I listened to that shit for 24 hours. And the music during the credits is amazing. And speaking of the credits, there are 2 credit scenes. Well, one specifically, but the first was it's kind of like a 10-second scene where Superman and Krypto are sitting down watching the Earth. It's basically a shot from the comics. It's basically a replica of that one shot with Superman and Krypto looking at the Earth from the comics, but, you know. And then the second post-credit scene with Superman and Mr. Terrific was... I'm not going to spoil that scene because I want you to see it for yourself. It kind of sets up something... It kind of sets up the Terrific spinoff that James Gunn is working on. Hopefully we get that. And... yeah, and I think that's everything I have to say about Superman. It's just a wild ride. We've been waiting for a Superman project, well, a mainline Superman movie since 2013, but our Superman film since 2021, perhaps. And we got it. James Gunn. If you hire James Gunn for the DCU, you know it's going to be amazing. And I cannot wait for James Gunn's work in the next few years. Peacemaker Season 2, the Lantern spinoff, Supergirl, and the Batman Part 2. I cannot wait for James Gunn's DCU to be in full swing. Just like how Iron Man is a great start to the MCU, Superman is an amazing start to the DCU. And I'm saying this right now, I think Superman is a way better start than Iron Man. I'm sorry I had to say it. I had to say it. Iron Man was good, but Superman, I just can't get enough of this movie. It's probably, if not the best movie this year so far. I have not seen any other movie besides the comic book ones, but this is my favorite comic book movie of the year so far. Fantastic Four may get close, but Superman is still my favorite comic book... Superman is my favorite comic book movie of the year. We will see when Fantastic Four releases. Not my favorite show, but favorite movie. Comic book movie of the year right here, man. I give this a 10 out of 10. A+, a great / amazing start to the DCU. And this is just super, man. Sorry for that pun, but anyways. And that's my review on Superman. But before the end of the video, I just wanted to share 2 things, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. This is a part review, part something. And remember when I said in my SMG4 reaction, SMG4 was going to do the 2-day daily post? Well, the first thing I want to talk about, that you stick to the end of the video for this, but anyways, this image right here of Mr. Puzzles, Mr. Weapons, and Tomb on the prison building perhaps. There is no Easter egg in this image, but I just want to mention this. It's just a perfect shot. Yep. And you see Mr. Puzzles' hand, Mr. Weapons' gun, and then Tomb just lying there. But anyways, that's SMG4. That's the first thing. And the second thing revolves around the Gaslight District, And I will be reacting to episode 2. And speaking of episode 2, we got this tweet from Glitch Productions an hour ago, almost 2 hours ago. We got this tweet. It's showing, I think, footage for what most likely will be in the second episode, or is it just promotional footage? Perhaps it's just promotional. You got Ken the Butcher first up, and then you got Mel. Yeah, Ken the Butcher and Mel, I don't know what they're speaking right here, but it's going to take place right after the first episode. And I thought we were going to get Amazing Little Circus episode 6 first, before the Gaslight District episode 2. And yeah, that's basically the two things I have to show you at the very end of the video. Just wanted to mention that real quick. But I will be doing my SMG4 reaction on Saturday, and whenever we get a new Gaslight District, series trailer, I will react to it as well. So, anyways, that was my review on Superman, as well as the 2 extra bonuses at the end. So, anyways, remember, you gotta go see Superman. It's the greatest comic book movie of the year so far. It is just a masterpiece. James Gunn did amazing, and I'm hoping that the DCU will do good, especially with Peacemaker, Supergirl, and Batman. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, ending it off with a poster. Hang on, it's loading. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and remember, look up and go see Superman. I am your host, Mr. Puzzles. See ya later!